Hello and welcome back to the Indie Hour. I know it may be hard to tell, but I am still your host, Ryan. Got a bit of a cleanup for a fresher look. I myself am still getting used to it, so before we do get started though, with music, I do want to talk about an instance of some police brutality that happened less than 10 miles from my hometown, where a black man was approached by 5 cops for publicly drinking, and I think what should have happened in this instance, what I've seen and heard other beach-related cops doing is, either like writing up a ticket and pouring out the alcohol. That is unfortunately not what happened. After about 15 minutes, the man says he was just trying to get home, and that's when the officers use excessive force, saying he's resisting arrest. This particular incident has me angry and disappointed for a number of reasons. The first, as I've already mentioned, is this is happening so close to home. I don't have any major ties to this beach town, but to know that that is happening so close to home honestly really pisses me off. And another thing I have to think about in particular is a man was treated unfairly, likely for the color of his skin. Just to kind of say, the police force and some of that town might have showed its true colors. This event obviously doesn't kind of speak for the whole town and the whole police force, but I mean, when you have a kind of like, I guess you could call it protest a couple months before when COVID started about reopening the government and people not wearing masks and stuff, and kind of the police not doing anything about that, maybe it's not their job to do, but I just think it shows with this incident. It shows a lot of different things, and it's disappointing to see. I have linked the news article that shows the incident I'm talking about into the description. I guess onto some music. It's sometimes hard to transition to music, but at the core, that's what this show is about. So for a bonus this week, we got Tame Impala had his album Currents turn 5, and I personally feel that album was so important for him. Him having that smash hit, The Less I Know, The Better, really brought him into the mainstream and made a lot of people a fan of him. That album absolutely still holds up, so I made sure to include one of my favorites off of that. That was not easy to do, by the way, because that album is phenomenal. So for some new music, we got some pretty great singles this week. First from Biba Doobie, the most fun name to say in the indie genre. Care is the new song, and the guitar at first is really subtle. Then for the chorus, it goes all out. It's super enjoyable to get a song this week from Biba Doobie. Next up, we got one from one of the best in the scene, Whitney, releasing Hammond's song. Had nothing to do with the music. It has really nothing to do with the music, but I do love the album art for this release. It's just a shot of some rocks and the moon, but it's super pretty. For the actual song, though, the music at hand, it's kind of nitpicky, but I didn't really enjoy his singing as much as I usually do for a Whitney song. It's tough to explain, but the best way for me to describe it is it doesn't exactly fit with the melody and style of the song, but I mean, everything else I like about it. The last big one we got up for this week is an artist that this year I've been really getting into, which is Boy Pablo and his song Honey. Really like the finger picking on the guitar for this one. The song lyrics too are really nice, just talking about nature and a girl. Very simple song, but a very good song in my opinion. So that is going to do it for this week's show. As always, the rest of the playlist is down below in the description. Thank you again for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you next week.